Okay, hi you guys. We're continuing with step number 16. I didn't leave you guys hanging. My computer just went off last night and didn't let me continue in the same video. So here I am again continuing. So okay, so this says that every region role requires a visible label which should be referenced by the area label led by attribute. To the section elements, give the following area label led by attributes: student info, HTML questions, CSS questions. Then within each section element, nest one H2 element with an ID matching the corresponding attribute. Give each H2 suitable text content. Okay, so I've started off by doing it already. I did it. I gave it an H2 element with the area led by attributes. So we're going to see if this works, you guys. Let's just keep it going. I don't know really what this does, just to be honest with you. But that's not going to stop us from trying to learn and just keeping it moving. Okay, so the second one is what? HTML questions. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Okay, and we got the last one, you guys. If I'm right on this, I'm gonna be very excited because this seems like a lot going on here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of code. Yes, as question. Ooh. Okay, let's see what we got wrong. You should give the first section element an area led by attribute of student info. Oh, that's what they're saying. I was thinking that, you guys. I was like, am I doing this right? What does this mean? So let's go ahead and erase that. We're going to erase this and actually replace it because I guess I was going off of the example. Okay. You should give the first section element an area led by attribute of student info. And that's what I did. Okay, let's go ahead and Google this because I'm kind of confused. Area led by, I have no clue what that is. Number one. Okay. And then number two, like, somebody else is asking the same question, so let's get it. So this is their code. They put that, yeah, and that's what I started to do this too. Right. I get what they're doing. Okay, so I think I know what's going on a little bit here. Oh, okay, I got it right when I did this, but then I need to give this area led label led by an attribute of, I guess, student info. I mean, this is me guessing. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this and just add it to this one, but of course it's not gonna be called this, it's gonna be called HTML questions. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. And this one's gonna be called CSS. Let's see what it says now. Oh my gosh, you guys, what? Oh my goodness, I got it right, okay. Well, I'm gonna need to figure out exactly though what area led by is. We can't just be blindly learning. Okay, you guys, let's submit our code and keep it moving. Okay, so typeface plays an important role in the accessibility of a page. Some fonts are easier to read than others, and this is especially true on low resolution screens. Change the font for both the H1 and H2 elements to Verdana, and use another web safe font in the sans serif family as a fallback. Okay. Also add, okay, we'll deal with that when we get there. We've got a lot to do here, so let's go. H1, H2. We're going to change the font family to Verdana. And then the fallback is sans serif. Interesting. I think that's how you do a fallback situation. We'll see. Okay. Also add a border bottom. For PX. Solid PX. So he said only to add this to the H2 element. Remember that thing, you guys, where it said to I'll just do this because it was like it said none. So I would omit the H1, but I forgot. You should set the first value of the font family property to Verdana. I did. Font family, Verdana. You should set the second value of the font family property to another sans serif web safe font hint. I would choose Tahoma. Oh, I didn't know. I thought that was it. You should use the H2 element selector to target H2 elements. Right, so do they want us to do a totally another, just another one? Okay, you guys, so now we know how to make sure that we do a backup font family. It's basically just a comma, and then after that, it's the next font. Then yes, we didn't omit the H1, we just created a new H2 for what that was saying. Now let's see what's going on here. Student info, HTML, CSS. All of those have a line underneath it. Border bottom. They're all a part of H2. So everything with H2 got that border bottom down at the bottom and with a gray color. And the size of it is only 4x. Let's see what happens when we make it 10x. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying some things out, trying to understand you guys. And I think everybody should do that. Okay. We have yet though, you guys, to understand what the whole area legend, what that means. And I'm still gonna do it. So you can fast forward if you want to, because I need to figure out what this means. Description. The area label led by property enables authors to reference other elements on the page to define an accessible name. Okay. This is useful when using elements that don't have native support for associating elements to provide an accessible name. Some elements get their accessible name from their inner content. I understand. Totally get it. It's just telling people what it is that don't know. All right, to be able to navigate within the page, give each anchor element an href corresponding to the ID of the H2 elements. Okay. What? To be able to navigate within the page, give the anchor element an corresponding to the ID of the H2 elements? Whoa, this is confusing, you guys. H2 elements, what are they? Okay, I'm gonna try something. Here we go. Because I guess what this is gonna allow the users to do is within the same page, when they click on these things, it's gonna take them to the bottom of the page or wherever student info is, the HTML is, you know what I'm saying? I think. Hopefully I'm right, guys. I think I'm pretty smart, so I think this will be right. You should give the first A element at HR of student info. Oh, so it has that before it. I did it. I just needed the number sign. So let's keep that in mind and look at what it did. It's got links so that it'll go to that. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, you guys, we're on number 19. Filling out the content of the quiz below. Student info, add 3 div elements with a class of info. Then, okay, let's do one step at a time, filling out the content of the quiz below student info. Add 3 div elements with a class of info. Okay, so div class equals info. Closing tab. Div class info. Div closing tag. Div class info. Div. Okay, then within each div, nest one label element and one input element. Whoa, there's a lot going on here. It's a lot to code, you guys. It's a lot of work. A lot of typing. Oh. One input element? Only one? Maybe input does not have a closing tag. It's only telling me to do it to one. I'm really getting confused now, you guys, as you can tell. My goodness. You should nest one input element within the first div after the label. So what are they saying? Input needs to be first. That's what I'm hearing. Do you guys hear that? I did it backwards, I guess. Let's just test it and see if I don't think input has a closing tag, y'all. You should nest one input element within the first div after the label. That's what I had did at first. Now I think I'm going crazy. Okay, so I found out how to do it, you guys. You put the input after the whole label. So here's label beginning, here's label ending, and the input goes after that. And yeah. I'm just gonna do that to all of them. Okay. Well, that's a lesson for us. Input goes after everything. It is important to link each input to the corresponding label element. This provides assistive technology users with a visual reference to the input. This is done by giving the label a for attribute, which contains the ID of the input. This section will take a student's name, email address, and date of birth. Give the label elements appropriate for attributes as well as text content. And then link the input elements to the corresponding label elements. Ooh, child, I think I know what to do. And this is a little juicy because I do think I know what's going on here. Okay, so let's get going here. This section will take the student's name, email address, and date of birth. Give the label elements appropriate for attributes. So, of course, this for attribute is going to be student's name. Okay. As well as text content. Name. Link the input elements to the corresponding label elements. Woo! Link the input elements. Link the input elements to the corresponding label. I think y'all, ooh, help me. You think that's the answer? Label. So this is gonna be for email. And the label is going to say that. Okay, and then link. Ah, I hope I'm right, you guys. I feel like I got some wrong, but not that many. If I get this right, I knew it. Okay. So you should give the first input element an ID attribute matching the for attribute of the first label. The first input. Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, so you're telling me all I missed was the ID? Let's see, I might have more missing than that, but for now, I feel like I might have got everything else right. Oops. So wait a minute, you guys. Hold on here. Because did I really get this right or did I just... I'm gonna have to go back. Filling out the content, then what did you do? Oh my gosh, I have to do this all over again. What a joke. I don't want to. So let's see here. Yeah, let me take out link date of birth. I feel like I didn't need it. No, I didn't. I didn't need link. That was not even true, you guys. So don't follow my lead. This link that I was putting, it literally should have been ID. Okay. So step 21, keeping in mind best practices for form inputs. Give each input an appropriate type and name attribute. Then give the first input a placeholder attribute. Okay. Give each input an appropriate type. Okay, so input. Type is like what? Like this is text, you know? And then name attribute is like, I don't know, just I think like it's the same thing. Type for this one would be email. Name email. And for this one, this is like numbers, but I don't know how to say that. Will that be acceptable? Let's see what we got here, you guys. You should give the second input a type of email. I did. I was very happy to do that, actually. Oh, I put it in label. And not the input. Same here, you gotta put an input. You should give the third input a type of date. Oh, so that's what it is. Got it. A placeholder. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the input needs a placeholder, you guys. And that'll be, I don't know, enter your name. Yeah. This one will be, okay, you guys, we're keeping it going. So we're on number 22. Even though you added a placeholder to the first input element in the previous lesson, this is actually not a best practice for accessibility. Too often, users confuse the placeholder text with an actual input value. Oh, okay, they think there's already a value in there. Remove the placeholder text from the first input element, relying on the label being the best practice. Okay. Arguably, date of birth is not descriptive enough. This is especially true for visually impaired users. One way to get around such an issue without having to add visible text to the label is to add text only a screen reader can read. Append a span element with a class of SR only to the current text content of the third label element. Hmm. Well, I don't know how to do that, you guys. And equals, okay. So the class for it is SR only. No. I'm not gonna look at what that says down there because I know that I did that wrong. I'm supposed to add it to the label. Or maybe not. I guess it has a closing tag all on its own. Hmm. You should place a span after the text date of birth. Okay, not before. I better get this right then. Okay, so I see what it did. It put that little I think it put that little calendar thing there, didn't it? Or was that already there? All right, within the span element and the text date of birth. It's giving us nothing. Oh, add the text date of birth. Within the span element. The SR only text is still visible. There is a common pattern to visually hide text for only screen readers to read. This pattern is to set the following CSS properties: position absolute, width 1px, height 1px, padding 0, margin 1 -1 pixels, overflow hidden, clip, white space, border. Use the above to define the SR only class. Hmm. So I'm assuming that I copy all of this, right? I use my brain, you guys. Oh my gosh. All right. Within the second section element, add two div elements with a class of question block. Then within the second section element, that was the first up here. This is the second. Add two div elements with a class of question block. Within each div question block element, add one P element with the with text of incriminating numbers starting at 1. Whoa, I don't know what's going on here. All right, you guys, let's see what I did because I don't know what they're talking about. You should give the first P element a text of 1. Oh, okay. I thought they were saying to like. What is this? Seems like that should be an input. Question block? Interesting how this is going to turn out. Let's continue. Each field set will contain a true or false question. Okay. Within each field set, nest one legend element and one UL element with two options. Within each field set, nest legend. Two options. Oh, maybe it's unlisted. Two options. Oh, a list item. I mean, I guess. Is this what I'm doing? You guys, do you think I'm right or wrong? Hmm. You see how that changed it? Now, let me clean up my code. It looks tacky. That looks way better. Give each field set an adequate name attribute. Then give both unordered list a class of answers list. What? Finally use the legend to caption the content of the field set by placing a true false question as the text content. Okay, you guys. So it says to give each field set an adequate name. I did that. I gave this one name question 1. This one's name question 2. Okay, and then it says then give both unordered lists a class of answers lists. Did that. Okay. Use the legend to caption the content of the field set by placing a true-false question as the content, as the text content. Oh, a true-false question. So I need to say something like, do you have a dog, true or false? A middle name. I mean, I don't know, just anything. Do you love the code? Oh. The hint that they gave me shows I'm on the right track. It says HTML question 2. Yeah, I gave it to the actual div, not the field set. That was the only thing I had wrong. I would have passed it all if I was paying attention and not putting it in the div instead of the field set. All right, to provide the functionality of the true-false questions, we need a set of inputs which do not allow both to be selected at the same time. Within each element nests one label element. And within each label element nests one input element with one appropriate type. All right. Within each list element, nest a label element. Nest one input element with the appropriate type. What is going on? I don't know what's going on here. Should this be a radio button, you guys? I got it right. They're radio buttons. All right. Do you guys remember though what we used to make it not be chosen at the same time? Okay, although not required for label elements, with a nested input, it is still best practice to explicitly link a label with its corresponding input element. Although not required for label elements with a nested input, it is still best practice to explicitly link a label with its corresponding input element. Link the label elements with their corresponding input elements. I forgot how they said to link it. I think it had name. I think it's name. I'm not sure. I don't know how to do this. You should give the first label a 4 attribute matching the IDs of its input elements. Okay, so it's got to do with IDs and 4s. So, oh my goodness. As you guys can tell, I'm getting very tired tonight. I don't know, this is gonna be a quick video. I might stop it soon, so but I'll always continue. This is for what is this for? Oh my gosh, I'm so lost, you guys. I'm gonna have to stop coding tonight. You should give the first label a 4 attribute matching the ID of its input element. We never made IDs for this. So, yeah. I don't even know if true false is a correct type of attribute or not. I'm just trying to think of something. I mean, like, I have no clue. I mean, I guess I'm on the right track because it's telling me to do the third one the same way. Oh, that's the fourth one. My bad. So you guys, you know what this tells me? It tells me that I'm right. If I'm right, I might keep going because I'll have the strength if I actually did something correctly. So what did we learn from this? We learned that every time for best practices, when you put a label, it needs a for. And that for is like telling about it all. And then if you put an input, it needs an ID and a type. So these elements are not alone. They have IDs, fors, types. The for and IDs need to match for best practices. Give the label element text such that the input comes before the text. Then give the input element a value matching the text. The text should either be true or false. Give the label elements text such that the input comes before the text. Okay, let me see here. Let me get eyes on this. Okay, you guys. We are putting true, false at the end of it all because if we wanted to put true right here, you see how it would be before this? We don't need it to be. We need it to be the input first and then the text like the instruction said. So I'm going through and doing this now. Okay, so that's one of the instructions. Give the label elements text such that the input comes before the text. Then give the input elements a value matching the text. Okay, so that's easy. Okay. All right, let's see. We got it right, you guys. What do you know? What do you know? So I learned something. It matters where you put the HTML. It does not always have to be a certain way. If you want it to go before or after something, you just have to do that on the HTML side. So good thing to learn. All right, step 32. If you click on the radio buttons, you might notice both inputs with the same true false field can be selected at the same time. Group the relevant inputs together such that only one input from the pair can be selected at a time. I remember doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think this is how I do it, you guys. I'm not sure. Let's see, this input, yeah. Oh, it's the name attribute, not group. Sorry about that. You guys, I am off tonight. Something's the matter with me. I apologize if, I don't have that much energy, but I'm kind of like sad. I don't even know why. So give it a different name after the first input and the third input. You should give different name attributes to the first input and the third input. Oh, I get it. So whenever we have radio buttons, we want to definitely give it a group name so that the code knows that these two, they belong together. They're part of the same situation here. So you can only choose one. We had to give these a different name because they're not a part of this group. But if there was 4 radio buttons here all together, they would be. But since they're a part of a different question, they deserve their own group. You know what I mean? So always the name for the thing for that is name. I'll remember that this time. All right, question 33. To prevent unnecessary repetition, target the before pseudo element of the P element and give it a content property of question. Whoa. All right, you guys, I'm gonna stop at step 34 and I'll be back with another video. continuing on, but I'm feeling really off tonight and I gotta go. So catch me next time. All right. Bye bye.